It's yummy time.
KC Cup review. I have finally ended playing my KC Cup duels. And I ended with these 3 wins, and that's all I wanted to keep doing. Because I felt that if I had kept on going, I was just gonna tilt back to 10,000. Look at these loses. Like, look at 3 wins, 3 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses. It's terrible. It's bad. My highest during the KC Cup was around 26k, I believe. I think from 26k yesterday, I ended my stream yesterday back at 20,000. So, day 1, I hit 20,000 points. Felt pretty good about it. Day 2, hit 26, tilted back down to 20. Today, started at 20, had an all-time low, aside from 0, an all-time low of 9,000 duel points. And I freaking wanted to cry. I was just like, why am I even doing this anymore? So, with these last 3 wins, I settled for 12,000 points, 12,648 duel points. And I didn't want to gamble anymore because I feel like that's what the KC Cup is. The KC Cup is literally a gamble. It's a coin flip. If you go first, you lose. If you go second, you win. I just feel like the matchups felt so rigged. And I'm not even saying that from a salty person's perspective. I started the KC Cup very strong with Ancient Gears. Ancient Gears brought me to 20,000 duel points. Day 2, I decided I wanted to switch it up from Ancient Gears, play Buster Blader, play Koaki Meiru's. Those did not work out for me. So at the end of the stream, day 2, I ended up going back to Ancient Gears. Day 3, started with Ancient Gears, fell all the way down to 9,000, switched up the deck maybe a couple times, kept on losing, so switched it back to Ancient Gears. And now I'm back at 12k because of Ancient Gears. But the KC Cup is a thing where you kind of get greedy for more points. And when that happens, I feel like maybe you're not too focused on your plays. I don't know. Other times I feel like it's unwinnable. Other times I feel like you brick and your opponent has the Exodia hand for Koaki Meiru's or Ancient Gears, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's very unfortunate, and I don't know, like, I don't know why we play this game, you guys. Why are we playing this game? I don't know. So, this is, for the most part, what I played throughout the KC Cup. Ancient Gears, 3 Reactor Dragons, 3 Ancient Gear Wyverns, 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior, Galaxy Cyclone, Pulse Mines, Enemy Controller. The enemy controller was added in there very last minute, I guess. I just started playing the enemy controller today on day 3. But before I was running enemy controller, I was just running 2 pulse mines. I liked the floodgates. I liked the galaxy cyclones. I think at some point, maybe I had 3 galaxy cyclones. But overall, this was the deck that I played, and for me, it was the most consistent. I feel like you still had your way out of a brick. Let's say that you have a bunch of spells in your hand and reactor dragons. If you just can rely on topping a galaxy cyclone or a breaker, that's a chance. That's like a really good chance. I don't know math. 5 out of 20. What is that? 20% chance of grabbing one of these 5 cards to which you can pop your combos off. The floodgate is in here to slow down a few decks, namely Koaki Meiru's. You can floodgate an Urnite or you can floodgate a Maximus. Pretty solid deck. Tie That Binds is here so that you can swing over mirror matches, or you can swing over a Maximus in attack mode, or you can swing over an Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon in defense mode or attack mode, whatever. But that's why Tie That Binds is being used here. Personally, I liked it the best out of any other deck that I played. This is another deck that I ended up playing for the KC Cup. It has Enduzap's name on it because that's what I started with, but for the most part, I think it's the same. I only have 2 Dragon Destroyers. Yes, I am a free-to-play pleb. I can't afford a 3rd Buster Blader Dragon Destroyer. So in place of that, I have a 3rd Dark Paladin, but if you have 3 Dragon Destroyers, I do recommend using it. There are 2 fusion spells in here because that's all you really need. You can recycle it from the graveyard, so 3 is kind of a bit too many. There's 1 emblem of Dragon Destroyer here to search out your Buster Blader. You can thin out your deck, and so that if you search out a Buster Blader before you last gamble, the chances of topping a better card is way better. Flute of Summoning Karibo kind of works as protection, as well as discard fodder for last gamble. Let's say you activate Flute of Summoning Karibo, you thin out your deck a little bit, grab a Wing Karibo from your hand, you can last gamble, discard the Wing Karibo. Hopefully you get something good. Hopefully you don't roll a 1, like I did a few times during the KC Cup. I feel like this deck carried me almost as much as Ancient Gears did. But I do also feel like the last gamble part of it is what screwed me the most. I think that because last gamble is such a shot in the dark, you could just end up cucking yourself. Overall though, I thought it was a very good counter to Koaki Meiru's. You could just fuse with their Maximus, and more often than not, people playing Koaki Meiru's were only playing True Nades and they had no out to DNA Surgery. Canadia is in here for protection as well as summoning. And I only have 2 Goddess of the Third Eye in this deck. Some people opt for 3, or they opt for a Dark Hex Sealed Fusion, which personally I don't really care for. I never once... I didn't like to set my Goddess of the Third Eye. I'd rather keep it in my hand for the fusion spell. Overall, I think Buster Blader was like my second favorite of all of these. I played Buster Blader, Ancient Gears, and I played Koaki Meiru's. So that brings me to my next deck. This is a Koaki Meiru build that Poggin gave me. He told me that Grit ended up working out very well for him. Apparently, Grit is a little bit too big brain for me. So I didn't know when to appropriately activate Sphere Karibo to save myself. I ended up cucking myself a whole lot with this deck. Not to mention, for me personally, I felt like I always bricked with this deck. I like the consistency of a balanced Koaki Meiru build than this one, because I just feel like relying on Grit is just really risky, but I think it did work out for other people. It just didn't work out for me. So this is a balanced build that I have played on stream before. I think I got King of Games with it, my most recent King of Games. I think I was only playing 2 Maximus at the time. That's why there's 21 in here. Or I mean, there was 21 in here. I added a 3rd Maximus. For me, this is the most consistent way to play Koaki Meiru's. I know it's toxic. It has 2 treacherous trap holes in it. To be honest with you, the treacherous trap hole, I feel like ends up dying anyways if you have like a floodgate, or if you're playing a mirror match and your opponent activates Diamond Core of Koaki Meiru, then your treacherous is pretty much dead for the turn. So maybe treacherous isn't so good. It worked out for me when I played ladder and got King of Games with it, but maybe I would throw in some Canadias or something instead. Yeah, again, more consistent way to play Koaki Meiru's. I vastly prefer this than Grit. Diamond cores, 3 iron cores, you know the whole deal. Everybody's been playing against Koaki Meiru's the whole KC Cup. I don't need to explain. During the KC Cup, this was also another Ancient Gear deck that I tried out. This is what I think I was remembering with me playing 3 Galaxy Cyclones. I believe Dulling ended up getting top 100 global, if I'm not mistaken, with this deck. I tried it out for myself, but I think by the time that I tried it out, I was running into way too many counters against this deck. So I actually quickly retired it. I didn't want to keep playing it just because I felt like every time I switched decks, I kept on losing. Part of me wishes that I stayed with that one solid Ancient Gear build that I was running at the beginning of the KC Cup. I might have been fine. I'm not sure. The meta kind of changed throughout all 3 days. So I don't know. Maybe I could have gotten further with the deck that I had. Maybe not. At the end of the day, I just ended KC Cup with 12k points, so that kind of sucked. I don't know. It just feels like such a gamble. You know what I mean? Like, I already explained it. It just feels like you're getting too greedy for more points. And then you just end up losing like I did. I hear that some people went from 60k points down to 30k points, which is really, really heartbreaking, to be honest. The KC Cup is just weird. I think it's a weird thing that promotes gambling. Cause think about it. Duel Links is a very RNG based game. It's RNG with your deck, RNG with the coin flip. And if you don't have the Exodia pieces in your hand, you just lose. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't predict what your opponent has in their hands, so it's like you can only play to the best of your ability. And if you make the wrong play, it's kind of like, well, how could you have known that? Because your opponent just had the answer to everything. You know what I mean? I think that the way that the KC Cup is, it's just everyone's gambling to go to Worlds, and I don't really like that. It's very annoying. Everybody is tilted, I'm sure. At least everybody who tried hard during the KC Cup. I know I am. I think I broke once during the stream. Not I think. I for sure broke once during the stream. Because someone was running Hollow Life Barrier in a Spellbook deck, along with Cosmic Cyclone in a Spellbook deck. And why are you doing that? Can you please not? I think for the next KC Cup, I'm really just gonna get the most points that I can for day one, and then I'm gonna stop. I think that day 3 was the most rough the KC Cup was, and I felt that KC Cup day 1 was everybody was tryharding, and there was no like weird platinum players. KC Cup day 3 turned into endless plat hell again, or endless gold hell. It was just bad. It was bad. So definitely play KC Cup day 1, and then just stop. Just stop when you get to a good point. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'll see you guys at the next KC Cup though, I guess. Just for day 1. We're gonna hit 30k next KC Cup, and then we're gonna stop, okay? That's all I really want to do. At the very least, I made my own personal best for the KC Cup. I'm very proud of myself for doing so. 25k, 26k, really not bad at all. For me anyway, for someone like me. So congratulations to all my friends who did a lot better than I did. I saw people on the rankings. I saw Stevie on there. I think Wayne was memeing and he put my name so that I was like number 4 NA or something like that. Who else did I see? I saw a name Shiny Sniffus on there. I couldn't tell if it was Shiny Sophion or Sniffus. So whoever that was, congratulations to them. I saw someone also memeing with Timmy's name on #1 global or #1 EU or something like that. Oh wait, no. Timmy was #1 NA and #1 EU. So congratulations, Timmy, for making #1 in 2 regions. He is not a washed up Duel Links player anymore, guys. He's coming back. He's gonna be at Worlds, okay? So congratulations, all my friends who tried hard. I'm very proud of you. I'm also proud of myself. I will see you all guys, you all next KC Cup, and it'll be a tilt fest yet again. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts on the KC Cup below, and maybe I'll read them, but I think I already have a general idea of what the comments are gonna be like, so thank you guys. Please smash that like button. We're almost at 20k subs on YouTube. If we haven't hit that already, please just sub to me. I'll appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. I will see you all later. Bye!